Alright everybody, here we are for the beta install. Just waiting on it to come up and we will be ready to go. I've got my iPhone right here. Let me get the lightning cable out. Need to get my iPad as well. Alright. What is playing? It looks like they're playing the event again. Alright, so we're just waiting on everything to come back up. I've got my Mac here ready to go. Just waiting on that. Let's see, let's get this puppy plugged in and ready to roll. Alright. Sorry, it is like storming outside, so here is my iPhone ready to go. I am just waiting on the beta website to come up and we will be ready to go. So, let me readjust the camera here. Give me 1 second. Also going to turn the light so you guys can see a little bit better. Yeah, so you don't have to see those lights. Let's see. Where is it? Cam. So I'm just going to turn these off real quick. Maybe. Actually, I wonder if we do some white light, if that will look better. YouTube is not maintaining enough video. Looks fine to me. I just need to get the cable over there. I'll fix that in a minute. We're just waiting on the website. Actually, I guess I could plug in. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna lose that for a second. To the other side of the computer. There we go. Put that into there. Okay, so now we can see the phone and everything. So as soon as we get the beta up and running, we'll be good to go. this stream is a lot more popular than than watching the WWDC itself. Everybody wants to see everything. Like I said, I will be installing, like you can see in the title as well, I'll be installing iOS 14, iPadOS 14, and macOS Big Sur on my MacBook Pro. And as you guys can see, I have the screen hooked up to my game capture card, so I will be installing it on that so you guys can see everything right here, and you can see the full installation. I also have it set up so you guys can see the phone right here, as well as a full screen so you guys can see the installation process on my iPhone right here. I'm using my Canon M50 so you guys get a very nice clear picture of everything right there, and we'll be able to see iOS 14 up close and personal. So we're just waiting on Apple to bring up the website, and we'll be ready to go. So if you guys are just now joining, we are waiting on the website to come up. I'm actually going to create a half and half here. Let's see. So you guys can see everything. Looks like we are experiencing some frame drops. Like I said, it is storming outside, so bear with me. Hopefully that clears up here in a minute. Refreshing the page, just waiting. Waiting. One thing I'm excited for is the widgets in iOS 14. Now that I don't have to tab back and forth to see stuff. Is it up or is it just gonna let me log in? Oh, come on. Woo! Are we live? Just gotta review, continue. Are we live? Beta. I don't think so. No, not yet. Still waiting. Not up yet. It looks like it started to come back. We don't have the little maintenance page thing. But it's still iOS 13.6. I will be updating my watch. I usually don't do a video on that just because it's so hard to film. Yeah, it still says maintenance in progress for that. Come on. It's slowing down. It's running slow again. Like I said, I've got my iPhone ready right here so you guys can see everything. We've got that set up. I've got a little bit bigger view here set up as well. So as soon as this website decides to work, come on, baby. I can't get back to the, oh, here we go. Wonder if it came up. I'm checking Twitter too. Wow, iPhone SE first and second generation, all the way down to the 6S, 6S Plus. Didn't hear anything about Pro apps. That kind of sucks. I was kind of hoping Final Cut Pro on the iPad, but whew, this does not want to work. If anybody has seen anybody able to get to the download section yet, let me know. Oh, back into maintenance mode, it looks like. We can still get back to that page, but it's still just the regular betas. Come on, Apple. They should just like upload these before the event and then have it set to, you know, just one click and poof, they're up. But I guess it doesn't work like that. Alright, just waiting on that. Alright. Went to get a drink real quick. The boys are coming. I'm with the boys. What? Alright, let's see what we get here. Nothing. And regular, yeah. Hey, I'm just glad that we got the widgets on there now, because I do use like the battery widget and like all that kind of stuff for my Apple Watch and my AirPods, So to be able to see that, like, I'll put that like on the home screen. And there are some new home screen features too, with the organization of apps and everything that look pretty cool. So I'm excited to check that out. I'm not going to do all that in this stream, obviously. I'm just going to install it, take a peek at it, and then I'll have a full-on video of everything later on. Come on. What is this? Oh, no, okay, that's not what I wanted. I got my iPad as well. No, Blaze, it should be up here in, like, I don't know, probably a few minutes. Last year, I think it took about an hour after the event ended before everything was fully up and running again. But it should be available, I'd say. It's 3:15 now. It should be available by at least 4 o'clock. Uh, 6W, last year it was, so I'm assuming it's going to be the same this year, other than, with exception, maybe the Apple TV. Usually that's a profile. The Apple TV and the Apple Watch. No, I don't have any links for the beta to get it for free. There are no profile downloads, so you have to have the full software download. Well, right now I don't have anything that's not even up for developers yet, so. Just waiting. Yeah, sites will re-upload them, but I'd rather just pay the $99 and get it straight from the source. I mean, I already have the account, so I'm not really, paying anything right now. I said we're playing the waiting game, as in we're just waiting on Apple to put the profile or the betas up. It's not like an actual game. It's just a saying. Yeah, if you want to get it from Apple, and you're not a developer, you can wait until July. That's when the public betas come out, and they are also doing a public watch beta this year. So there is going to be a public watch beta in July with all the other ones for the first time. Well, just keep watching, and I'm refreshing the page every few minutes, so once the beta is up, we will be the first to know. I don't think it's macOS 11. I think that's just 11 of the Apple development platform. Yeah, everybody's kind of talking about macOS, iPadOS becoming macOS. Going to the tablets, and now macOS looks more like iPadOS. So, I don't know. I'm going to download it as soon as it's available on the computer you see on screen right now. So you'll be able to see everything fully. So we'll be able to take a look at it here in just a bit. Yeah, I did notice the icons on there. Let me see. I think they have some. Yeah, the icons did change. Let me see macOS. Here we go. Wonder if I click this download button if it works. Probably not. Hold on 1 second. I can see if I can find it. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find the supported Mac list. For iOS 14, it's everything from the 6S and up, and that includes the first generation SE as well. I don't think that's up yet. Let me see if the Apple website has it yet. macOS. Can't click. Usually they put it at the bottom of this. Here we go. So if you were asking about the supported Mac list, MacBook 2015 and up, MacBook Air 2013 and up, MacBook Pro 2013 and up, Mac Mini 2014 and up, iMac 2014 and up, iMac Pro 2017 and up, and Mac Pro 2013 and later. So if you have the old trash can Mac Pro, you have another year of support. Yes, the 6S is still supported. Same compatibility as last year. So basically, for any Mac model, 2013 and up, 2015 and up for some of them, obviously the iMac Pro 2017 and later, because there was no iMac Pro before 2017, but that is the list for that. Let's see. I'll pull up all the list right now while we're waiting. Oh, isn't that one for the... So watchOS 7 is going to be the 3, 4, and 5. And iPhone 6S or later with iOS 14 or later. So to install watchOS 7, you will need iOS 14. So if you're going to do the beta, you do have to have the beta for iOS 14 as well. So that is that. Let me check real quick, see if we... Nope, not yet. So that's watchOS, macOS, iPadOS. We'll look at the compatibility for that, even though I think it's the same as somebody just said in the comments. iPad Air 2, iPad Air 3rd generation, iPad Mini 4, iPad Mini 5th generation, iPad 5th generation, iPad 6 and 7th generation, the iPad Pro starting at the 9.7 inch going all the way to the current ones. So there is the iPadOS compatibility list. And like I said, everything for the iPhone is going to be the 6S and up, including the iPhone SE 1st generation. Very excited to see how Big Sur is going to run, considering how they're making this OS compatible with two different processor types, Intel and ARM based Apple design processors. Yeah, no, iPhone 6 didn't get iOS 13 or 14. We should be up here soon. Like I said, last year it did take a little bit of time, so we're just waiting on that, and we'll be installing some betas here as soon as it is up and running. So sorry for the wait, but I'm just as excited as you are. Ooh, it looks like they are up. Somebody is on the page right now. I'm watching another stream on YouTube, and iOS 14 beta is up, and it looks like we actually have I don't know if there's a profile or if they're all restore images. I'm going to do the restore image anyway because I have to. My phone isn't set up, as you can see. You do have to have, the beta doesn't necessarily cost money, but you do have to have a beta account, which is, or a developer account, which is $99 a year. 6W, are you talking about the Apple website? Or the developer website? Yeah, I'm trying to load the account page. As you can see right here, it's not doing anything. Alright, it does show all of them being back up. Maintenance completed right now, so we should be able to get in here in a minute. Public beta. Oopsies. Come on. Oh. Are we doing something here? Everybody's trying to get in at once, and it's not working very well. Ooh. Here we go. Alright, so we're gonna download it for the 11 Pro Max. Download's probably gonna be slow as butt. I'm just gonna download one for right now, at a time. Yep, there are profiles. My iPhone is not, I wiped it, so it's not set up right now, so I'm just going to download it and restore it that way, just because it'll be a little bit easier. If this download actually starts, it'll be a little bit easier than having to set up the phone, install the profile, wait for it to download and do everything on there. Thank you, Jarut TK. Thank you for subbing and hitting that bell icon. I will have a bunch of iOS 14 and macOS and iPadOS videos to come after this stream as well. I'll be doing some full videos on everything once I get to use it for a little bit. Website is still struggling. Looks like somebody else, the person I'm watching on stream here, is having some issues as well. Ah, man, it died again. Come on. Trying to get into the website takes longer than actually installing the beta itself. I'll just sign in there again. So it's right. I actually have an iPhone SE 2020. I'll be installing the beta on that one too at a later date. it is. I've got that right here. Right here. So that'll be getting the beta as well, and I'll be showing the differences between the 11 Pro Max and that. Come on. I guess I could set the phone up and try to get on there, but people, I mean, I see somebody else trying to get onto the Apple developer site to download the profile on the iPhone, and it's not working either. It's just Safari can't even connect to the website because the server stopped responding. I guess my that's a different one. Here, let's see. I'm just gonna close that out. An unknown error occurred. Great. Oh, that's what somebody else is getting now too. Apple, please bring the website up. I just tried on my iPad and we get the same thing. No, I don't do YouTube as a full-time thing. I wish. Maybe one day. We were so close. I had the page up with the download link on it and everything, and I clicked the download link and it went back to sorry, not right now. Yeah, I know it's because there's a lot of people trying to download. It was the same thing last year, but it's just one of those things you gotta keep trying and hope you get in eventually. Surprisingly, this doesn't happen when the iPhone comes out and everybody's trying to buy it. I mean, it did at one point, but now that, you know, there's not as much demand on day one for the new iPhones. Yeah, I know the profile downloads are up on other websites, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to take your sorry about the thunder. It's going to take your iPhone to download it from the Apple server anyway, which, as you can see, I can't get onto, so it's not going to get us anywhere any faster by downloading the profile. Because the only thing that's going to happen there is I put the profile on my phone, and then my phone's going to try to check for the download, which comes from the same server as the website we're on right now, and it's just going to fail or take forever. Yep, I'm just gonna wait for this to come up, like I said, because even if you download the profile, your phone's still gonna not be able to check for the actual update right now. Here, I'm gonna download the profile on my iPad, and we'll see what we get. So, let's see. Oh. No, there's no public beta until July. The notification on the top of beta profiles was saying that that it's a developer beta. It was letting you know that if you wanted the public beta to come back. I can't even get onto beta profiles right now, so. I am going to get Big Sur, but I can't get onto the page right now, so I can't get anything. Oh yeah, the public, that was just a mistake. Somebody already was tweeting about that. Even the system status page doesn't want to load. But as you guys can see over here, I'm trying to get on, beta profiles came up. Alright, so I did get the beta profile to install on my iPad. Here, let me take off the keyboard. So while that's doing that, I'm going to continue to try and get in on the developer website to download it for my iPhone. The one for my iPad was like 3 point something, 3.26 or 3.56 on my 11-inch iPad Pro. This is the newest iPad Pro. I really don't want to download the one for my iPhone from Beta Profiles. Let's try something real quick. Somebody was talking about. Alright, so if you put it into private browsing, I was able to get in. Alright, so that is downloading. Alright, so we've got it downloading for the iPhone. The iPad is already installing, as you can see here. Alright, so while that does that, we're also going to install this profile while I'm here. Beta Access Utility. So let's just see. Alright, so we've got that. I'm gonna go ahead and click upgrade now. And let it download, but obviously I'm not going to do it yet. And then we've got the iPhone one downloading. It looks like that's got about 8 minutes left. The iPad is done downloading over here. It's done downloading. It is just preparing the update. Okay, so now we got the show on the road. Everything is working with my phone. I technically have gigabit downloads. Well, not, it's like 900. But in my office, I use a Powerline Ethernet adapter, so I get about 200 of that. But I am downloading like 3 things at one time, so probably doesn't help. What do you mean you can't see Mojave? Alright, so I have the IPSW downloading for my iPhone 11 Pro. I have it downloading Big Sur for my Mac, and I have this already installed on my iPad, so it's downloading and doing the update. tvOS and watchOS I will do at a later date, because the tvOS beta is a little bit complicated on how to get that profile on there. And then watchOS beta, I need my phone to be updated to the iOS 14 beta to do that. So we've got to wait on that to complete. So yeah, if you put it into private browsing mode, it comes right out, because I don't even think it will. Oh, well, of course now that we go through all that, it works on there too, but whatever. Guess I can close that one because the other Safari window still has it downloading. And then we have this downloading. That says 2 hours, but like I said, I've got like 3 other things downloading, so hopefully once those complete, this will speed up a little bit. Although it's not moving all that fast. But this one is, this one's going pretty quick. What do you mean you can't see Big Sur? Where are you trying to find it? It should just be the first one for the profile right here. Alright, so I'm going to let that do its thing. I'll come back to this once it is done. I don't think you guys could see anything. I was just looking at it on the screen, but oopsies. So I'm going to let that download over there. I need to plug it in, because we're like 25%. Alright, so the iPhone one is about half done. I don't know what you mean by you can't see it. It's like right here on the first one, and it's just a profile. Once you install the profile, it'll come up in your regular software updates. Sometimes you got to go back and forth, and it'll take a minute to actually check for the update, but other than that, it should be right there. I don't know what you mean by you can't see Mojave. I don't know where you would see that. If you're still on Mojave, you might need to update. Or that might be as far as your Mac supports. What Mac are you on? I can't link you to these profiles. It just opens something else. Go ahead and pull this up. Let's see what's it doing. What are you doing? Oh, there we go. Okay. If it's only showing Xcode betas, you're probably not signed into a paid developer account. Are you signed into a paid developer account? You need to, if you're a paid developer, you need to go to account and then to downloads, and then it should be right here under beta. If you aren't seeing that, make sure there's nothing up here about any agreements or anything. You might have to accept the terms and conditions before you can get to this part. So go back to the main page and make sure there's no yellow banner at the top about updated terms and conditions. So yeah, the reason you're not seeing the betas is because you're not a paid developer. It might not let you do it right now because of the load on the site. I don't know why it would be telling you that. This one right here is taking forever, but hopefully that speeds up once this is done. Got about another 9 seconds on the iPhone one. No, I'm not going to upload the IPSW files. Alright, so that is done. So we're going to hold down Option and click Restore. Go to our downloads. Did it turn off? Or, yep, nope, it just restarted. Good. macOS beta's taking forever. Uh-oh. Don't know what happened there. Let's see what's going on. Okay, I think I gotta go to 13.5.1 before I can do 14. Same thing happened last year. I had to go back a version. iOS beta is going to take a while. iPad is still preparing the update. I'm waiting on my computer to download 13.5.1, update to that, and then we'll try 14 again. I got error 10, which usually means the version is too new. Yeah, I don't think 0.6 to define, which usually means that the public beta and the developer beta right now are the same thing. It was just an error. It's not really a public beta. Sorry, I'm having some issues with the connection right now, but we should be going good now. There we go. Download the profile does work, yes. My iPad is restarting right now. Alright, my iPhone is now restoring to 13.5.1. So after that, we'll try to do 13 or 14 after that. Beta download for macOS is still running really slow. It says 6 hours, so we might have to hold that one for another day if that doesn't speed up. For those of you going to betaprofiles.com, so you're saying it's unclickable. You don't click this right here, click download. That will bring this up to download it. That's all you have to click on, is just download right there. That will download the profile. Oop, looks like the iPad might be starting up here. Looks like we might be getting something with the iPhone too. Although that one's working on 13.5.1. If you're talking about the new file management on macOS, I'm trying to get that installed, but that beta download is not moving very quickly. The keyboard I'm using, it is the Logitech G915. It's the wireless mechanical keyboard. You don't have to watch, Noah. Some people want to see this. I will be showing some of the new features on the stream, but I have to get it installed first. You want me to show you some of the new features while it installs? It's kind of a little bit hard. Look everybody, this is the install screen for iOS 14. It looks the same as iOS 13, 12, 11, 10. This is the iOS 13 progress bar right here. Looks the same. This is the I have to restore my iPhone to the current version of iOS before I can install iOS 14. If you just signed up as a developer, then you need to go to Account, go to Account, go to Downloads, and then all your beta downloads are right there. No, my iPhone's not done yet. I had to go back to 13.5.1 before I could put 14 on it. tvOS is a little bit different. You have to use, I want to say Xcode to put the profile on the Apple TV, if I remember correctly. I'm not going to be doing that now because it's a little bit more in-depth. Yes, widgets are going to be a feature in both iPadOS and iOS. Let's see. So here's the new widgets on the iPad. You can't move them. You can't move them over here with the icons like you can on the iPhone. But they do have the new style over here, so that's kind of cool. I'm not going to play around with this as much, but we will take a look at the iPhone once that is done. Everything else looks just about the same design and everything like that. See if there's any new wallpapers. Yes, there are. So we have got three new wallpapers up on the top here. Those are the same ones that are on the iPhone. Then we have the iOS 13 ones down here on the bottom still. So that is what that. Oh, that's nice and smooth. That looks nice. So that's that on the iPad. Looks like my iPhone is done on. Yeah, done playing around on iOS 13. So let's see here. Still no calculator app on the iPad. Or weather app, for that matter. I don't think the iPad got the... it didn't get the... like the new app thing either. It just has the regular home screen still. So we'll check some of these. I gotta look at more of the iPadOS features, but we'll check that out later. Really want to get it on the iPhone. So hopefully that was our issue, is being on the wrong. Nope, unknown error occurred, error 10. Okay. So I'm going to set this up real quick. It's going to make me... I'm going to download the profile for the phone. Alright, so I'm going to set my iPhone up and use the profile. No, there's no weather app on the iPad, there's just the widget. No, there's no calculator app on the iPad. You saw what? Yeah, the calculator, that is a app. It's not a it's not like an official iPad app. The calculator app you saw on the home screen is not part of iOS 14. It's just an app I downloaded. The iPhone wants to play though. It doesn't want to. For some reason, I keep getting an error when I try to install it off the Mac. So I'm about to do the profile here in a minute, as soon as it restores again. So we're waiting on that. What you see here is not iOS 14, by the way. That's still 13.5.1. It failed again, so I had to recover it. Yeah, it's normal for it to restart a couple times, but I kept getting an error on, not iTunes, because I don't have iTunes anymore, but Finder. Just kept saying an unknown error occurred. So we're waiting again. If you guys haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button so you see my iOS 14 beta videos later on down the road. No, there's no public beta released. It's just a typo in the title on the profile. The public beta doesn't come out until July. I'll be showing iPadOS and iOS 14 in depth in a later video, so if you guys want to see that, make sure you click the subscribe button. It's kind of hard to show everything right here. Let me set this up real quick. And I'm setting up the I'm setting up 13.5.1 so I can do the profile. I don't know why the macOS beta is taking forever. Everything else went pretty quick. Oh, of course now it comes up. I'm not showing iPadOS right now. I'm trying to set this up so I can get this installed. All right. You won't lose any data updating. It's not going to wipe everything, but I'd recommend you back it up, because if you do a backup on iOS 14 and for some reason need to go back to iOS 13, you can't use the iOS 14 backup on a earlier version. So make sure you keep that iOS 13 backup somewhere separate so iOS 14 backups don't override it. Oh, it looks like they fixed it to where it says developer beta now. Hopefully that doesn't take forever and a year. Yeah, you can remove the beta profile. It's just down here under profiles, and you can remove it. But removing the profile is not going to uninstall the beta. You still have to go back and reinstall or restore your phone. Alright, 16 minutes, that's not too bad. Yeah, some people have gotten it downloaded. I was just having an issue. For some reason my phone wouldn't, I had the iPadOS downloaded, and for some reason my phone kept giving me an error when I tried to install it that way. So if that had worked, I would have been good to go by now. But 9 minutes for the download, then however long it takes to prepare, so shouldn't be too bad. I'm trying to speed this macOS update up though. Let me try plugging into Ethernet and see. Let's see if this will speed it up any. Probably not, but you know, can always try. No, iOS 13 cannot be removed without resetting. You can't go back to it. You can't go back to an earlier version of software without resetting it. So if you want to go from 14 to 13, you have to wipe it. And if you want to go from 13 to 12, when that was a thing, you had to wipe it. Alright, well, it looks like plugging into Ethernet made the beta download for macOS take off. So that's good. If we look at it right here, you can see we're flying now. It still says 3 hours, but hasn't really updated since I plugged it in. But hopefully that really increases speed here. I might have gotten like a corrupt download for 14. That might have been why the iPadOS wasn't working. I want to download the beta on my Mac Mini. Let me switch over to that real quick and get that started. I haven't had any issues with betas, so I'm not too worried about it. .56 gigabytes on the Mini as well. That is moving substantially faster though, at 20 some minutes for download. So why this is going so slow, I do not know. Turn the Wi-Fi off and see. Yep, don't know what's going on with the download. What does that say? Meet AirPods. I already have AirPods. Oh, well, now the Mac Mini slowed down too. Great. It kind of like goes really quick and then stops and goes and stops. I don't know why. I'm trying to bring this up. Alright, so that's almost ready to be on preparing update. Yeah, I turned Wi-Fi off on my Mac, or my MacBook, and it's off on my Mac Mini because it's always plugged into Ethernet. It's not my internet. It's just the download server. Let's see. There we go. I turned the screen timeout off for you. I turned off timeout and I turned off auto brightness, so it shouldn't change. Any change you see in it is because like I said, it's storming outside, so the sun's in and out and the lighting's changing. I even turned my RGB off on my PC that's next to it and put it on white light so you could, so the colors weren't changing, messing everything up. My Wi-Fi is fine. It's just everybody's trying to download it at once, so it's taking a while. My iPad didn't take too long to prepare, but I think the iPhone takes a little bit longer. Older devices may take a little bit longer too, because I think it's all processing on the phone and stuff. I really want macOS, but that is taking forever. I'm at almost 5 out of 9.56 gigs on the Mac Mini, or the Mac Mini, on my MacBook Pro. So it's kind of moving again. The Mac Mini has paused again. So they're like taking turns. Those are such large downloads that everybody's trying to download it at once. It takes a little bit longer. Really wish I could have got it for you guys sooner, but for some reason the IPSW, when I downloaded it, it just did not want to work. My internet's not slow. Everybody's trying to download it at one time, so it takes a while. It's not, my iPhone's done downloading, it's on preparing updates, so that's all on the iPhone itself. It doesn't have anything to do with download speed. Yeah, my stream, the upload for my stream and everything is doing fine. It's just these downloads that are taking for a while. Like I said, the iPad's already done. I'm just waiting on the iPhone and the Mac, but I hit him, whoever was requesting that. Okay, so it is macOS 11. It is no longer macOS 10 dot whatever. So we are out of macOS X territory. And currently, if you are jailbroken on if you're jailbroken on iOS 14, don't update using the iPSW, it will break your device. Let me plug in. I'm going to charge the SE real quick. I'm going to update that to 13.5.1 to make sure it's unjailbroken. I'm going to be doing a separate video on the iPhone SE, assuming that things are going to be a little bit different on that one because of the way the screen's laid out. It has a home button. If you're asking if it's safe, nobody here knows because nobody here has really finished installing it or had more than 5 minutes to use it, so please stop asking. About 75% of the way there on this. You know, now that I think about it, we didn't get that that whole wallpaper thing everybody was talking about where you could change like the gradient and everything. It's still the same wallpaper setup as before. Huh. That was supposed to be like a big thing everybody was talking about, was the was that whole wallpaper thing. As I sit here waiting for this to install, I realize more things that we didn't get that were like major leaks at first. We're down to about an hour on the macOS beta, so hopefully that sticks there. And, yes, you can always downgrade. Just keep in mind you need to keep an iOS 13 backup, because if you back up in iOS 14 and that's the only backup you have, you can't go, you can't restore an iOS 14 backup in iOS 13. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to try the wallpaper on CarPlay. Yeah, if your stream is buffering, restart your stream. iPhone is about 99% of the way there. We should be having a restart here in a minute. Yeah, this live will be recorded. This iPhone right here is a 11 Pro Max. First thing I'm going to look at is probably going to be the widgets. The Mac, I have a 2018 Mac Mini and I have a 2017 MacBook Pro 13-inch. If you need the IPSW, then you have to be a developer. You can use a backup from December as long as it's, if you're restoring on iOS 14, that's fine. But if you go back to iOS 13, then you need to have a iOS 13 backup. It can't be newer. So if you take a backup in iOS 14, make sure it doesn't overwrite anything in that you backed up in iOS 13, because you're not going to be able to use the 14 backup in 13. The public beta comes out in July. If you don't have storage, if you use an IPSW, sometimes it doesn't take as much storage because it doesn't have to download directly to the phone. So that would be your best bet, but like I said, you have to be a developer to get that. If it says public beta, it's fine. It was just an error. Everybody got the same thing. This would have worked if the IPSW file would have worked for me. I would have had this running by now, but it failed twice, and I had to wait for it to restore to 13.5.1, and then I had to do this, and it takes forever. I really want macOS to download because that has like the newest UI that I want to try, and of course that's taking hours. No, you can put the widgets wherever you want. So if you only have like 2, you can drag them around, the icons will move out of the way. The Intel Macs are going to be the same updates as they always have been. Usually it's like 5 years, I think. Some get like 7, but it's not going to be just like suddenly discontinued because of that. You should be, if it showed Catalina, you should still be fine. It probably just didn't update the picture. Or you have an update before that you need to do. I don't know about that. When mine starts up, I'll try because I'm setting up from new, so I won't have any icons other than the default ones. So I'll try to place a widget like at the bottom of the screen. I think you can though. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. It would just be down there by itself. You still can't place icons like by themselves. Like they still have to be in order, but the widgets I think you can put wherever. This iPhone right here is a 11 Pro Max. I do have an SE as well though. It's updating to 13.6 beta 2 right now before I do the update to 14. The public beta is usually a one beta version behind. So when like beta 2 comes out, public beta testers will get beta 1. It's just to ensure there's no major issues. So when beta 3 comes out for us, they usually get updated to beta 2. You don't have to do 13.6 and then 14, but I had my SE jailbroken, so I want to make sure that clears out because if you're still jailbroken and you go to 14, it could mess things up. It supports all the way 6S and up, as well as the first gen SE. I'm not installing it on anything other than the 11 Pro Max and the SE that I have. I don't have anything older than that. Yeah, it's moving at all. A lot of people were reporting that it took a while. It's normal. There's only 3 new wallpapers, and that whole wallpaper leak thing that we were seeing before, it doesn't look like that happened with being able to edit like the gradient and all that kind of stuff. That whole interface, it doesn't look like it's there. So we didn't get that. That was like the first major iOS leak that we saw, and that was something that didn't come to be true. The health stuff on the Apple Watch didn't seem to come, other than the sleep. We might see that with the new Apple Watch, the Series 6. Maybe they'll announce that as a feature of that one only, and that's why they didn't mention it today. But other than that, we didn't see that. So there we go. It's restarting right now. I think everybody's saying it restarts like twice. Spotify has a widget, I don't think Instagram does. I don't think the camera app changed. They didn't mention anything about that, at least. Here, I'll pull up the stuff on the Apple website while we wait. Messages got a pretty big redesign, which is nice. I really do like the widgets. That's going to be nice. Especially now that you have the app library, you don't have to have all your apps crammed onto a couple pages or in folders, stuff like that. It'll automatically put them into, put them into different categories and stuff. On-device translation. Siri not taking up the whole screen, finally. Calls not taking up the whole screen. Now, one thing I don't know is if you answer the phone, if it's going to come up in full screen, or if it is still going to be in that little window, or if it goes away and you just get the little green thing at the top where you can, you can talk on the phone. I'm excited for the AirPods thing where the oh, there's battery. They didn't mention anything about that. The battery notifications for the AirPods. Hopefully the iOS battery notification thing changed to something like that too, where it's not popping up on the screen. I'm really excited for the auto switch for the AirPods from device to device. I actually thought that was something that was like original to the AirPods, and I just thought it never worked well, but apparently it wasn't a thing yet. Looks like they added air quality to the weather app. I'm excited to try the sleep tracking. Ooh, she started up. Let me just sign in real quick. Alright, so one thing is Translate is pre-installed. Right, focus right there. So Translate's pre-installed. Let me check out a widget real quick and see. Okay, so did I? Yeah, so you can have widgets on blank pages, and I don't know if I just did this, but it looks like it dragged all the widgets over. So you can see right here, there's like 3 down there on the bottom, and then there's another page over here with just widgets, and then there's that one and that one. Let me readjust the camera real quick. Alright, so I'm going to try to show you best I can with this setup. I'm also going to, let's see, so we're going to edit the home screen. Alright, so if you push down here on the bottom, on the dots, you get your whole home screen view, so you can get rid of pages. So now we only have, so new app downloads will appear in the app library, so they don't automatically go to the home screen. So that's the app library right here. We have the social app, so you can't you don't open these folders. It's just the app, and if you have this down here, then it's a folder, and you can open up multiple apps like that. So that's the difference there. On the app library, I think the only way to get to it is slide over on the last page. I'm not sure about that. If anybody knows multiple ways to get to the app library, let me know. As far as widgets, like I said, here are these. I'm going to get rid of tips. I'm going to have to reset up my home screen when I download the apps and everything. But here is the battery. So we're going to edit the home screen, and then we can drag the widget just like it's an app. And you can put that anywhere. It'll move however many icons it needs to move based on the size. So I'm just going to put that right there. That's nice to have too, since you don't have the battery, the battery percentage on here. Control Center looks a bit different. They didn't mention this, but it looks like we have toggles for our home devices without having to go into a separate window for it. So yeah, the controls for homes and favorites and everything like that are different. You can also go to different rooms. So that is cool. That just turns that on and off as always. So basically same stuff there. That's new. I'll have to check that out. Let's go into settings real quick. We do have a home screen settings section now, so you can specify where you want your apps to go. So if you want them to go to the home screen as well, or the app library only, you can change that. You can also choose whether you want notification badges to show up in the app library. Let's go to wallpaper. So yeah, we didn't get that new whole wallpaper picker thing everybody was talking about. Set the new one real quick. So these are the 3 new wallpapers right here. Those are the only ones new. Everything else was already there. Apparently they really want you to know that dynamic wallpaper and perspective zoom are disabled when low power mode is on, because it's in all caps. Let's try Siri real quick. Oop, a little splash screen for that. So in silent mode is on. Siri can answer silently when your phone is muted while still speaking. Answers when you say, "Hey Siri, what's the weather like?" What's the weather like? Alright, so you see when I ask for the weather, just pulled up a little weather card right here. Tap on that to go into weather. Let's see, we're just going to allow that. Ooh, so we get a little bit more here. So we have a rain forecast up here. Like I said, it's storming. Air quality. Still no radar on here, but whatever. So you can't tap on that widget. If I had other devices like my AirPods paired, it would show up there as well. I'm just going to get rid of this for now. Let's see. I don't know what that is. So let's see, we're going to... So you can edit the widget in your calendar app. If we edit that, we can hit the plus up here, and that's where you get your other widgets. You can search, see apps. So like I can choose the weather one. They have different ones. So like if I use this one right here, over here, it's going to take up, where'd it go? It's going to take up like the whole screen. So you only get those apps up there, then it moved all those over there. If I delete the widget, all the apps come back to where they were. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm not noticing any lag. Everything's running pretty smooth. It may look a little laggy on the camera because I don't think it's 60 frames a second for everybody, but other than that, I'm just going to click Set up Apple Pay and close that so that goes away. But yeah, I'm gonna download some apps, get my home screen and everything set back up, and like I said, I'll do a video later on with everything that is new. There's no, I mean, the dark mode wallpapers are just dark mode. No, it's not dark mode. Are just dark mode toggles of. I've got to add. Oh, I need to check that, the control center stuff. Let's look back. Get rid of that. Control center. Okay, so you can choose show home controls. You can turn that on and off. I'm guessing you can still do the home if I turn that off. Yeah, if I turn that off, I don't get home center controls. I need to add dark mode. Put that up. Oop. Put that up near the flashlight. Sleep mode. So I guess you have to turn that on, and then you get all these right here. So these aren't like a separate widget anymore. This is its own section. I can't do an incoming call right now. I don't have a SIM card in here. So this is its own section, but we'll turn on dark mode. So that's the dark mode wallpaper. Pretty nice. But that's the home screen and the apps and everything. So I'm going to download my apps that I actually use, and then we'll try it out and see how this works and everything like that. And then I'm going to check out the app library. I'm just going to have to learn a little bit about it, and then I'll make a video showing everything that is new. But that is going to be the stream for iOS 14. As soon as macOS downloads, I'll do another video on that. That's taken forever to download. So we'll have to do that later. But thanks for watching. If you guys haven't, please subscribe. I will be doing more videos on iOS 14. So make sure you hit that subscribe button.